Over the next few months, starting in June, I'm going to be preaching about Abraham. But this morning, we're going to have a different focus than Abraham. I'm in Genesis 18, if you would like to follow along, as I read verses 1 through 6. Are you there? If you can't holler, do this. If you can't do this, I don't know what you'll do. All right. Follow along as I read. The Lord appeared to Abraham near the great trees of Mamre, while he was sitting at the entrance to his tent. In the heat of the day, Abraham looked up and saw 3 men standing nearby. When he saw them, he hurried from the entrance of his tent to meet them and bowed low to the ground. He said, "If I have found favor in your eyes, my Lord, do not pass your servant by. Let a little water be brought, and then you may all wash your feet and rest under this tree. Let me get you something to eat, so you can be refreshed, and then go on your way, now that you have come to your servant." "Very well," they answered, "do as you say." So Abraham hurried into the tent to Sarah. "Quick," he said, "get 3 seahs of fine flour, knead it, and bake some bread." Fill in the blank. Number 1. Mom makes the meal. Mom makes the meal. The Bible is a rich book. And when you go from story to story, there are any number of places you can focus in the text. We could indeed focus on Abraham, the father of our faith. We could focus even at this supernatural representation of the Trinity in the physical realm. We could focus on them. But do you know what day it is? It's Mother's Day. And we catch a glimpse of Sarah in that last verse. And so, we find Sarah in a role as mother and wife that we often find our moms. Quick, get me, fill in the blank. Now, for those of you who may not have read the little footnote down there, he said, "Quick, go get me 6 gallons of flour." 6 gallons makes a lot of bread. And I don't know much about making bread, but there isn't much quick about making bread, let alone bread with 6 gallons of flour. I need it now. Does that sound familiar to any moms? Quick, give me some. I remember vividly, one morning I got out of bed, I went downstairs and I said, "Oh yeah, Mom, by the way, at school today I need to bring a pie." We're having a little pie auction or whatever it was. And it was like 7 o'clock and my bus came at 7:30. Do you know, by the time I walked out the door, the bus was coming down the road. My mom was pulling the fresh peach pie out of the oven, handing it to me with hot pads, and I was the most envied boy on the bus that morning. "Quick, Mom, I need some." "Quick, Mom, I need this wash." "Quick, Mom, I need a ride to school, to work, to church, to home." Application question. How has your mom helped you with last minute needs? I want you to ponder that for just a moment, and then I'm going to give you the question that I didn't write down, because I really want you to think about that. When's the last time you thanked her? We don't have a record necessarily that Abraham said, "Honey, thanks for that bread." But you know what? I think you can thank your mom for all those last minute meals that Mom put together for you. How has your mom been at the ready? And will you thank her for it? Let's move on to our next set of verses, verses 7 through 11. Then he ran to the herd and selected a choice tender calf and gave it to a servant who hurried to prepare it. He then brought some curds and milk and the calf that had been prepared and set these before them. While they ate, he stood near them under a tree. "Where is your wife Sarah?" they asked him. "There in the tent," he said. Then the Lord said, "I will surely return to you about this time next year, and Sarah, your wife, will have a son." Now Sarah was listening at the entrance to the tent, which was behind him. Abraham and Sarah were already old and well advanced in years, and Sarah was past the age of childbearing. Fill in blank number 2. Mom hears the message. Sarah was more on the sidelines for our first section of verses. Now she is rapidly moving into center stage. You see, she hears a message that must have been rather hard to hear. Sarah and Abraham had struggled trying to have children. Wanting children, but not having them for a long time. We could go into the struggle that is. A struggle that I don't even remotely try to understand, but a struggle that I know many people have and continue to work through. And it's a painful struggle. It's a disappointing struggle. It's a struggle that makes you wonder what God is doing. Now, Sarah and Abraham had struggled a long time. One of the reasons I shudder when I'm going to be preaching on Genesis is because our Bible quizzers just got done in Genesis. So, Bible quizzers, how long had Sarah been waiting? Bible quizzers, can you yell it out? How many years had Sarah been waiting? 90. 90 years. Folks, I don't know about you, but I don't know many people that have struggled 90 years and have heard the news. By the way, you're going to have a baby. But this, I feel too, highlights many times how moms have to deal with conflicting messages of hope and disappointment, good news and bad news, dreams that crash together with reality. You're going to have a baby, and you're 90. What? Conflicting messages. Your son has cancer, but he's only 9 years old. Conflicting messages. Your husband's just lost his job, but he worked there for 25 years. So often, I think moms have to deal with these conflicting messages of reality and the message. How do we put those together? Application question. What are some conflicting messages your mom has had to deal with? What are some messages that have come to your mom or had come to your mom that she had to deal with?